I asked it to write a simple email, a professional email to a client about a project delay, and what I got back was embarrassing. It sounded like a robot trying to apologize. It was full of cliches like, "I hope this email finds you well." I spent more time editing it than it would have taken to write it myself. What am I doing wrong?
What was the exact instruction you gave it?
Something like, write a professional email to a client about a project delay. What else would I say?
That's the problem right there. You think you're asking a question.
I am. I'm asking it to write something for me.
Most people think of AI as a search engine. You ask, it answers. But that's not how it works. It's not finding an answer, it's generating a new one from nothing.
Okay, so what's the difference?
The difference is that a search engine has the world's information to work with. The AI only has what you give it. Your instruction wasn't a question, it was an assignment, and you gave a very poor assignment.
That sounds harsh. I thought I was being clear.
It was clear, but it wasn't effective. The first shift we need to make is from asking a vague question to giving a direct order. Your instructions need to be explicit.
So instead of write an email, I should say what? Draft an email with a professional tone that informs a client their project is delayed by 1 week.
Better, much better. The verb draft is more precise than write. You've given a specific time frame for the delay. You've specified the tone. Let's try that. Imagine we put that into the AI. What do you think the result would be?
I imagine it would be a good professional email. Probably better than the first one.
It would be better. It would be grammatically correct. It would be professional. But it would also be completely generic.
Why? I was explicit.
Because the AI still knows nothing. It has an instruction, but it has no world to live in. It doesn't know who you are. It doesn't know who the client is. It doesn't know why the project is delayed. It has no context.
So you're saying I need to tell it everything? The whole backstory of the project?
Only what matters for the task. Think about a new team member. If you give them that same instruction, what questions would they ask you?
They'd probably ask, okay, who am I in this situation? Am I the project manager? And who is the client? Are we on good terms with them? And what's the reason for the delay? Is it our fault?
Exactly. You would never expect a human to write a good email without that information. Why expect an AI to? It needs the context to make good decisions.
It can't make decisions. It's just a machine.
It makes thousands of tiny decisions with every word it chooses. It decides whether to sound formal or friendly. It decides whether to be direct or indirect. Without context, it just chooses the average, the most common path. That's why your first email sounded so robotic.
Oh, I see. It's choosing the most statistically likely professional email words, which are all cliches.
Precisely. So let's build on your better prompt. Let's add the context. Try it now.
All right. Draft an email with a professional tone. The email is for a long-term client named Mr. Harris. The project is delayed by 1 week due to unexpected technical issues with our supplier. I am the project manager, and my goal is to maintain a good relationship with him, so the tone should be reassuring.
Excellent. Now the AI knows the relationship is important. It knows the reason for the delay is external, not your team's fault. It knows who it's writing to and who it's writing as. It can now choose words that don't just state the facts, but also manage the relationship. It can write an email where the client can imply your competence and care, even with bad news.
So by giving it more information, I'm guiding its choices. I'm helping it imply the right things.
You're not just guiding it, you're building the foundation for a much better result. But we can go one level deeper.
Deeper? That already seems pretty thorough.
The email will now be good. It will be context-aware, but it won't necessarily sound like you. It will sound like a generic, competent project manager.
That's probably fine. Isn't that the point of a professional email?
It can be, but what if you wanted it to generate a marketing campaign concept or a speech for a conference? Good and generic is not what you want. You want something with a specific style, a specific voice. To achieve that, you have to tell the AI who to be. You give it a role to adopt.
A role? Like an actor?
Exactly like an actor. You give it a persona. Instead of just saying, I am the project manager, you can say, act as a senior project manager with over 15 years of experience. Your communication style is calm, direct, and empathetic. You build trust by being transparent, never making excuses. You value clarity above all else.
Wow, that's incredibly specific.
And what does that description do?
It gives the AI a personality. It's not just a job title anymore. It's a character. It tells it how to write, not just what to write.
It gives the AI a detailed model to copy. It will select words that a person like that would use. It will structure sentences in a way that reflects that calm, direct, and empathetic style. The result is no longer just a professional email. It's an email that sounds like it was written by a specific, highly competent individual.
That makes sense, but it still feels unrealistic. This is a lot of work. Isn't the whole point of AI to save me time? If I have to write a 3-paragraph prompt just to get one email, I might as well write the email myself.
That's a very common feeling. It feels like you're doing more work up front.
I am doing more work up front.
Think of it differently. How much time did you spend editing that first robotic email?
I don't know, maybe 10 or 15 minutes, and I was still unhappy with it.
And how much time would you spend editing the email generated from our final, detailed prompt?
Probably almost none. Maybe change 1 or 2 words.
So the time investment isn't much different, but the quality of the output is dramatically better. The real value is that you're creating a reusable asset. You can save that detailed persona. The next time you need an email, you just use the same persona and change the context and instruction. You're not just writing a prompt. You're building a digital assistant that understands how you want to sound.
So it's a system. Instruction, context, persona.
It's a briefing. A clear briefing for your new, very capable assistant. The quality of your briefing directly determines the quality of their work.
Okay, I want to try this system on something else, not an email. Let's say I want to brainstorm ideas for a new company podcast. My old prompt would have been, give me 10 ideas for a business podcast.
And the result would have been
The most boring generic ideas possible.
So let's use the system. Start with the instruction. Make it explicit.
Okay, generate 20 unique and creative podcast name and concept ideas.
Good. Now the context, the world it needs to live in.
The podcast is for non-native English speakers working in international companies. They are ambitious and want to improve their communication skills for meetings and presentations. The company that produces the podcast is a modern online training company. We want to sound innovative, not like a traditional school.
Fantastic context. Finally, the persona. Who should the AI be?
This is interesting. I don't want it to be a teacher. Maybe act as a senior creative director at a top advertising agency. You are known for creating brand names that are clever, modern, and memorable. Avoid boring corporate-sounding names at all costs.
Perfect. Can you feel the difference? Can you imagine the quality of ideas that will come from that prompt versus give me 10 ideas for a business podcast?
It's a different world. The results will be so much better. What if they're good but not perfect? Do I start over with a new prompt?
No, this is the final step. You don't start over, you collaborate. You treat the AI as a creative partner. You ask it to refine its own work.
How do I do that?
You give it feedback, just like you would a human. You could say, I like ideas 3, 7, and 12. They are the strongest. Can you generate 10 more ideas that combine the cleverness of idea 3 with the professional focus of idea 7?
So I'm having a conversation with it. I give a great first briefing and then I guide it.
Exactly. You use your judgment to steer its generative power. You provide an explicit instruction and context. You tell it what persona to adopt. Then you ask it to refine its output based on your expert feedback. You help it imply the right things from your comments. It's a partnership.
The whole time I was treating it like a calculator, a tool you put a problem into and get an answer from.
A common mistake.
But it's not a calculator. It's more like an intern. A very fast, very smart intern who knows everything in the world, but knows nothing about my company, my clients, or me.
And a good manager knows how to brief their intern properly.
The responsibility isn't on the AI to read my mind. The responsibility is on me to be a good manager.
And now you know how.